Hi guys, my name is James Kerwin, and for my debate video, I'm going to be tackling kind of a philosophical concept. Um, I'm arguing that there's no such thing as free will. And right at the outset, it gets kind of fishy because free will is a hard thing to define. Um, it's sort of an intuition people have, a feeling that humans were somehow able to make choices and direct the outcome of our lives more so than maybe other physical bodies that you'd come around, other things made out of atoms, like the moon orbiting the Earth doesn't choose to orbit, it just orbits because the laws of gravity predict it will in a certain way. Um, your computer doesn't choose to run a program, it does because you clicked on it and something mechanical inside the computer, some complicated process led it to do so. But when you decide whether to eat a burger or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you have this sensation of choosing in a way that more than a machine might. So free will is sort of that intuitive feeling people have. So that's the first definition I wanted to sort of establish. The second thing is that for my argument to resonate with you, I'm making an assumption. And that assumption is that physics, the science of cause and effect, of how things play out in the natural world, is more accurate than human intuition. So, we have these things where we feel like things work one way, but then we study it rigorously and scientifically, and we find out that things didn't work the way we thought they did. And in those cases where our intuition, how we feel things are, like having free will, runs up against the conclusions of science, and I'm going to argue us not having free will, I think science is right, and that even if you really feel it's true in your gut, you have this intuition, that has to get discarded. Okay, so those are sort of my premises and definitions. The argument. Humans, while we feel ourselves very distinct, not like a moon orbiting mechanically or a computer operating in some mechanical way, from a physics perspective, aren't any different than these things that I've mentioned. And that might sound crazy. We're alive, we move around, we laugh, we play, but at a fundamental level, the moon, a computer, a car, anything you can think of really is made out of protons, neutrons, and electrons, physical particles. And these particles, they follow rules, the rules of chemistry and the rules of physics that determine how they're going to interact and play out. And it's the predictableness of these particles, of the atoms that comprise everything that you know and interact with, that allows us to make technology. Because we live in a universe that's deterministic, that follows mechanical rules. When things are set up in a certain way, you mix, an acid with a base, you get some predictable reaction. Okay, so what does this have to do with free will and our choices? Well, when you're looking at the peanut butter and jelly sandwich and the hamburger, and you're choosing, and you do have the sensation of choosing, from a physics perspective, you're just a big pile of atoms, right? And some light bounces off the hamburger and goes into your iris, and it stimulates you in a certain way, and some light bounces off the peanut butter and jelly sandwich you're looking at, and some complicated chemical reaction takes place in your brain, and then you do something, right? And if we knew the position of every single atom, right, and we had a really powerful computer and we could look at all the chemistry that was going on inside you, we could predict with perfect accuracy which one you would choose, right? In fact, your whole life is sort of a series of mechanical processes, just like a computer. It doesn't feel that way. It's very counterintuitive. But that's what physics has to say on it. Now, a lot of people will disagree with me on this. It's not the last word, but I find the subject interesting, and I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention as well. So in conclusion, I think the sensation of free will, this idea that humans have the ability to direct our lives and make choices, while very natural, and I feel that way, and I'm sure all of you guys do too, is not true and directly contrary to a modern understanding of physics, and that, in essence, we are machines. As silly as it sounds, I know. Thank you guys for watching.